Okay, so what I've posted right now on our sheet is problem number 24 and 26 out of your textbook. This way I can point at it and go over a couple things with you to make it a lot easier. So the directions say, bound the area of the shaded region by approximating the upper and lower sums. Use rectangles of width 1. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to figure out what the upper and lower sums are. Okay, so let me go ahead and kind of show you what that means as we go through. All right, so on number 24, the first thing that I want you to kind of notice, and it's harder to see it on here, but if you look in your book, from 1 to 5, these are colored. They're kind of shaded in. Now, when you look at your shaded in zone, basically they're wanting a width of 1, meaning that each of these columns are a width of 1 between 1 and 2 and 3, and 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. Now, when they say they want a sum, we're going to do the upper sum first. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to use a big S for the upper sum. I'm going to use a small s for the lower sum. All right, the first thing that you know is each column that I'm looking at is going to be worth 1. So that's its width. So I'm going to put 1. Now we're going to multiply it by the height of each column. Now when it says upper sum, when you look at the column between 1 and 2, and you go all the way up, you are going to look at the higher part of the column. See, this part of the column only goes up to 4, but over here, this part goes up to 5. So the upper sum would use the 5. You want to use the higher number. When I go to 2 to 3, and I look at this column, the left side at this point is at 5, but the right side is at 4. Well, the upper sum would use 5 because it's the bigger number. All right, for column 3 to 4, when you go up, this side over here looks like it's at 4. This side right over here looks at 2, so 4 is going to be your upper sum. And for the last one, the 4 to 5 column, you can tell that here it looks like we're at 0, but on this side, the left side looks like we're at 2, so that's what we're going to use. Now, it's 1 times that added up. Well, if you add those up, that's 10 plus 4 is 14 plus 2 more is 16. 16 times 1 is still 16. So that's going to be the area under the curve using the upper sums. Now you got to compare it to the lower sum. Same concept. You're just using the lower number. So when you go the first one, we know that the left side goes up to 4 and the right side goes up to 5. So this time you're going to use the 4. From 2 to 3, left side goes to 5, right side goes to 4. You're going to the 4. You're using the lower sum now. 3 to 4, 3 goes up to 4, 4 goes up to 2. So you're going to pick the 2. And then from 4 to 5, 4 goes up to 2, 5 looks like it's at 0, so we're going to use the 0. So when I add this up, that's 8, 9, 10. So I've used the upper and lower sums. Now 26 is going to be basically the same thing. I'm going to do the upper sum and I'm going to do the lower sum. And I've already told you the width of my columns, it already said is 1, so that's going to be how a box across. That's a 1. So now we just got to do the upper sum. So here we go. First column that's shaded, the higher piece is on the left. It's going to go to 5. Okay, from 1 to 2, higher piece goes to 2. All right, let's see. 2 to 3, higher piece. I'm just going to say 1, but it's a little over 1. From 3 to 4, this is the higher piece, so let's say 0.7. I may not be exactly on it. You can come up with it. You could have used a fraction too. All right, from 4 to 5, the higher piece looks like it's right here, but I don't think that's a half. Let's just say 0.4. All right, so 5, that's 7, 8. And then 8.7. And then, let's see, 9.1. That's my approximation. Now let's use the lower sums. Same concept. First column, the low side is here. That's a 2. 2 to 3 column, the low side's here. We said that was what? 0.7 last time? Whoops, I think I skipped one. 1 to 2, let me do it. This low side is 1. Then the 2 to 3, the low side is 0.7. Sorry, I skipped one a while ago. 3 to 4, the low side right here. It looks to be, what did we say, that was about 0.4? Now, when I come over here, I don't know, this low side, you want to say 0.2? I mean, it's an approximation. You just got to do the best you can. So let's say I got 3, 3.7, 4.1, and that'd be 4.3. And remember, if it's multiplied by 1, you're still going to get that same answer. Now, I'm going to move to the next page here because now we're going to use a formula. All right, so I got number 28 all moved and a little bit larger so you can see it. This one's also number 28 in the book. The directions say use upper and lower sums to approximate the area of the region using the given number of subintervals of equal width. Okay. Now, the subintervals are how many columns you got, or bars, or whatever you want to call these. So if you count, you have 8. Now, the width of each one of these, if you really start looking, they're all the same. See, these are all 1/4 wide. So that will be our width. Now, what we want to do is we want to take each one of these and see, we have a formula this time, and there are 8 bars. So I'm going to do the upper sum first. Okay. Now, when I do the upper sum, that means in this case, I'm going to look to see which piece is taller. The upper sum on this side is going to be to the right. Okay, so it's going to be the higher number. So all I'm going to do is put in exactly what the higher number is. So like this is 0 and this right here would be 1/4. You're going to use 1/4 to start here. Even if it's going up or down, it doesn't matter. So on my upper sum, first thing I'm going to do is there's my formula. Now, I told you earlier that you would multiply the width times every bit of it. So this is what we're going to do. The width of each column is 1/4. So I'm going to write that down first. And I'm going to put a bracket because I'm about to put a whole bunch of other stuff down. Because I have 8 of these that I've got to do. And then we're going to find all of our answers and figure out what it's going to be. And this is going to be a decimal answer, so we're going to do the best we can. Okay, so for the upper sum, the first thing that I notice is I'm going to use 1/4. See, this is 1/4 on the x coordinate. So see, I'm plugging in for x. So you're going to put 1/4 plus 2. Plus, now I'm going to go again because I'm doing the same thing with the formula. All right, I move to the next one. Well, that is 2/4, which is 1/2. If you'd rather put 2/4, that's up to you. I'll put 2/4 so everybody keeps up with me. All right, now notice I'm writing the formula again. Every one of these is the formula. All right, I'm going over. So right here is 3/4. And guess what? I'm going to have to count all the way up to 2. So I'm going to keep on going because 2 was the max. So the next one is 1. Notice I'm just plugging these in to the equation. All right, now I'm going to come over here. This is going to be 1 1/4, which is 5/4. Okay. All right, now I'm over here, so that'll be 6/4. I'll just leave it that way. I know it reduces, but it will be fine. All right, so now I keep going. We're on 7/4. And the last one is 8/4 or 2. Okay, I know that looks like a lot, but all I'm going to do is use this to find my answer. So right now I got my 1/4 that's sitting out front. Let's just write it down. All right, we're going to try to combine some of these things so we can figure out what's going on. So I got a bunch of 2s. See, that's a 2. See all these 2s? I'm going to add them together because I can add those really quick. So let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm going to write that down first. That is all my 2s added together. Now, once I write my 2s down, let's go ahead and see what else we got. We got some other things that we need to add up. So the square root of that is 1/2. That's going to be square root of 2/4. Oh, I'm sorry. It won't be 4, will it? Because I got to take the square root of 4. It will be 2. Accidentally messed up on that. All right, now, all right, we're going to go a little faster. That's going to be square root of 3/2. Because I can take the square root of 4. That's 1. That's square root of 5/2. Square root of 6/2. All right, I'm still going. Square root of 7/2. And then square root of 2. Okay, if you stick all of that in your calculator and make sure you multiply it by 1/4, you're going to get approximately this, 5.685. All right, now I'm going to do the lower sum now. I'm going to have to go a little faster because I'm running out of time here. Okay, so we're doing the lower sum, so that would be starting at 0 and going all the way up to almost 2. So I'm going to do the same thing. It's 1/4. It'll be square root of 0 plus 2. All right, the next one that you're going to have, see, we started at 0. Now we're going to do 1/4. You can almost just recopy. See, the next one's 2/4. The next one's 3/4. You're going to have 8 of these when you finish. All right, 4/4 is 1. All right, 5/4. All right, 6/4. And 7/4. You're not going to go all the way to 2 because we did the lower sum. So the lower sum started with 0. So there's 8 of the equations. Now let me write it down. We're going to have 1/4 again. The 2's didn't change. There's still 8 2's. So 8 times 2 is 16. You can add those up. Now I'm going to write my other things. That's 0, 1/2, square root of 2/2, square root of 3/2, 1, square root of 5/2, square root of 6/2, square root of 7/2. And if you put all this in the calculator and multiply it by 1/4, this answer is going to be 5.685. I accidentally wrote the wrong answer for this one up here that I already had worked out. I didn't want to spend time putting it in the calculator, and that's my fault. So this one right here, that's not the answer for this one. Sorry. Go back and fix it. This one is 6.038. So, whoops, I made a mistake there on that one. All right, so this one, when you add it all, when you put this in the calculator, that's what you should have got. If you did get that, I'm glad. So, I'll just put you a note to pay attention that I got the wrong answer on that one. But I've corrected it, so this is the answer you should have got for the other one, approximately. All right, that's as far as we're going for now. Work on your stuff.